Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Museum of Art DeLand's Art Activity Kit project instructions. Today, we are going to be looking at project number 1. The artwork of inspiration for this project is called Infinity Blossom by Tom Evans. It was made with watercolor and it was made in 1992. Now, let's read our project prompt. In the artwork above, Tom Evans uses lots of color and movement to make a beautiful painting. Let's make our own artwork inspired by Tom Evans using the oil pastel resist technique and watercolor paint. Let's get into it. The next page of your art activity kit has something called Project 1 instructions. This will show you what materials you need as well as the steps that you can follow along with to do this artwork. So let's read our materials. Wide oil pastel, watercolor paint, foam brush, watercolor paper, disposable water cup. These are all the things we need. So here's our oil pastel. Next, here's our watercolor paint. Next, you're going to grab your paper and your foam brush, as well as your disposable water cup. Step 1, using your white oil pastel, draw swirling and wavy lines across your watercolor paper. As you can see here, I'm having lots of fun doing that. And make sure you apply enough pressure so the oil pastel shows up. After this, you're going to move on to step number 2. Grab your disposable water cup and fill your small disposable water cup with water. Step 3, you're going to open your watercolor palette, and you can either use the brush that's inside of it or the foam brush. Wet your brush and dip it in the watercolor paints to create your art on the watercolor paper. You can paint a flower like Tom Evans did, or you can paint another object. I decided to do some flowers on my painting, so I'm starting with some red and I'm going to start painting and letting my ideas come to life. As you are painting, you're going to notice that the white wavy lines you drew using your white oil pastel are showing through the paint. This is because the oil pastel and the watercolor paint are resisting each other. Here you can see that I'm using my foam brush. I decided to use it so I can paint my background. You can dab like you see that I'm doing here, or another way you can use your foam brush is to paint and brush it side to side, like this. When you are using your brushes, it's important to clean them in between each color of your paint. This is because we don't want to mix colors into other colors when we're taking from our watercolor palette. As you can see here, I accidentally got green into my yellow. If this happens, you can always take a paper towel and dab up the color that accidentally mixed. Now, as you continue painting, you should see lots of your paint and your oil pastel resisting. It's really, really cool. Here's another tip. If you would like for your colors to look more potent or vibrant, you can add more paint and layers. As you can see here, I wanted my flower to be a little darker red. So once it dried a little, I added some more red over and created layers. You can also add smaller details to your petals or to your leaves. You can also add more colors to the background of your paper and blend. Have some fun. Here is the finished look. You're going to let it dry a bit, and when you come back, you will have your completed artwork. Now you can see up close. Look at all that resist. The lines that you drew at the beginning are showing through over your painting. It's a beautiful texture and design. Well, everyone, that brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching.